Okay, so Coach is going to be all over the place with this one, but he's got some pretty good stuff if we can manage to get to it. It's just kind of buried. We're going to hit a lot of numbers too. So, uh, our buddy Cat saying that Larry David might be Ed Falco, who is Edie Falco's uh, uncle, right? I thought that was very interesting. Said he died in Paris, and then mentioned that Carson Wentz is Prince Harry. There's rumors about that. I forgot all about that. And, of course, people think it's Ed Sheeran as well, that sort of stuff. Our buddy Venice still does not believe Jimmy Johnson's gonna die at Daytona. That's disappointing, but hopefully it happens. Let's see. He also said, um, so he said, Dale Sr. Father was Ralph E. Raced number 8 as a number 8 car for Kyle Busch. Number used to belong to Teresa E. She became the owner after Dale Sr. was killed at Daytona. It was Dale Jr.'s stepmom, bitch. After she ran DEI into the ground, she sold all the rights to RCR and the number 8. I'd like to see any RCR car win at Daytona. They usually build their best stuff for this race, as do most teams. But RCR hasn't had a win there in a while. Sorry for Coach's voice. I'm pretty sure you can tell he's not feeling the best between his teeth and other stuff. Sorry about that. And okay, so here's some stats on y'all, right? So here's Coach's starting 5. We got Boston Allen. He's got 8 comments on the channel, but he's pretty much been here since day one. We've got A Cat. They're at up to 11. I think they might be higher than that because I think they put a couple today. And they're going back. They're playing catch up. Coach respects your hustle a lot. He's glad to have you here. A lot of great insight so far as well, so please keep it up. Very happy to have you on the team. You're definitely a starter. Daniel, he's got 22 comments on the channel. He's a day one fam, and he's always very positive, very upbeat. Also, appears to have very good instincts from what Coach can tell. Venice, he is not a day one guy, but boy, has he made up ground. Up to 37 comments already. You've been killing it on the NASCAR stuff. You killed it on the Redskin stuff. We love having you here. Very happy that you've been so active and participating. Very thankful that you're here as well. Definitely a starter. And we got Trevor, who is just absolute monster. I mean, 87 comments, probably the very, very first one that was here. Coach appreciates you a ton. Always does a great job time stamping all his comments as well, so Coach doesn't have to overthink anything. He's click on it, go right to it, know exactly what he's talking about. So Coach appreciates you. So that's starting 5. If I had to pick a 6-man at the moment, I'd go with CJ Oates if he wants the position. So let's go on to Chiefs curse. So of course you know about the Kirk Cousins curse. They're trying to flip that against the Eagles. Coach doesn't buy that curse. He thinks this curse is interesting. The Chiefs have never won the Super Bowl after winning all of their home games. In fact, this is the first year they've ever even won a playoff game. So Coach thinks that's a tell that they're donezo. And then Vinny Curry, who was on the Eagles Super Bowl champion team, he retired as an official member of the Eagles this year and served as an honorary captain for their game against the Commanders regular season. We've got Albert Groh. He was heavily involved with like the Eagles, that sort of stuff. There's basically just a ton of crossover between the Rams and the Eagles. I know about the Rams skin stuff, but the Rams Eagles might even have more. It's literally insane. Former Jaguars head coach, Doug Peterson, even though he's been fired, he's still a hot commodity. We'd love if like somehow the Eagles could tap him before the Super Bowl, literally get him to come do something. Scheme up the Philly special again, fix the offense. He's a quarterback. I'll bet he could help out a lot. They should bring him in. Also thought it was very interesting. So, You got Doug Peterson, you got Frank Reich, right? They're both known as like career backups, and they both win the Super Bowl together with the backup quarterback Nick Foles. Isn't that a bit suspicious? Also, Reich in the Eagle symbolism. You also got a Germantown in Philly. So here's Dick Vermeil. Okay, no surprise that he joined the Eagles in 1976. Okay, also coached the Rams. Okay, and coached the Kansas City Chiefs. How about that? Also 76 Rose Bowl. He's 88 years old right now. Um, he coached Stanford as well. So also UCLA. Very interesting. That's pretty much like a ton of teams coach has flagged. What else we got here? So he won it with the Rams, right? Yeah. So he won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Greasy Neal, legendary Eagles coach among others. Also from Virginia. Just yeah, so he died at 81. Okay, not recently. But coach saw was very interesting. Is it him? Well, basically, so it might be coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. Okay. So here's like the Ohio League, right? He was on the Patrician Club. Isn't that funny? We figured out Patricia. There was a Patricia professional team who was once upon a time world champions. You also got Tommy John Reeves. He died at age 67. And as he was spent his whole career with the Eagles, so he got the 76 coding. He's in the Philly Hall of Fame. Longest receiving touchdown, 99 yards. Check out his stats. 363 receptions, 6464 receiving yards. That's suspicious to you. And that 61 we've seen too many times as well. Buck Shaw's real name is Lawrence. So he was a star player on Newt Rockney's first unbeaten team. And he won NFL championship with the Eagles. 1960. He was nicknamed the Silver Fox. That was interesting. The Venice said his dad really likes the Silver Fox racer. I meant to screenshot him as well, but I forgot. So Buck Shaw, he immediately deals Buck Lansford. That's the first move. Hey, our Buck's here. He's got to trade the other Buck. He's got to pass the Buck. Can't have two Bucks on one team. The fuck is that? Immediately, dude. I was just like, oh, is this first one? No, he just came in just day one. Get the Buck out of here. There's Buck Lansford, also Rams. Our buddy Trevor said nice finds. Humphreys and Bristers are names I haven't heard in a while. You probably know Stan more for upsetting the Steelers in the 94 AFC Championship game before getting blown out by the Niners. First, very interesting. I don't know if I told y'all, but Bubby Brister. So my mom's boyfriend's a comedian. He was the MC for the official roast of Bubby Brister. He also did Merrill Hodge and Mike Ditka. I might have messed that up. I'm not sure if Brister had his own. Brister might have been on the dais of Hodge. I don't know if he was actually getting roasted. I know Hodge and Ditka had their own, so that's what I'm thinking. Brister was just tagging on to one of those two now that I think about it. And then about the Stan Humphreys comment, 100% because I had the Sports Illustrated year in Sports 1995 VHS. So that's pretty much would have been the extent of what I knew about Stan Humphreys as a kid. So you're dead on the money there. Good call. And that was, the Niners blowing out the Chargers. One of the most memorable things from that tape. Of course, they had to pay $67,000 for the Yellow Jackets. They got the 76 coding there. A coach just thought this was interesting. Someone commenting on, his Trevor Moore video from way back. Joe Rogan was telling us what will happen to Joe. Has been in with the Leafs for a while. I don't even believe that is the real Joe. The Joe from the old podcast and his old media would tear down the government and have the craziest conspiracies and had Eddie Bravo and Alex Jones. Now he is telling other conspiracy theorists how they will die. Coach, thanks, it's a little deeper than that, but I do think it's very interesting, when you just like break it back to basics a little bit, even if it may be more nuanced than what he may say. Like, isn't it weird? Like, we've always known that, like, you sell out. Like, when you get famous, you sell out. They're different people. Like, it is always talk about selling your soul, all that sort of stuff. So it's just very interesting. Like, man, maybe Joe was a real person at one point. He just completely sold out. Who knows? Right. Oh yeah, y'all sharing the shit out of it. 14 shares in a week. Awesome. Good job, guys. Charles Robert Taylor. So we got another Taylor. He was a Sun Devil turned Redskin. Also on the Eagles. Okay. 1974, he had 7470 yards. Isn't that interesting? Also 9110 yards. 649, that's a palindrome if you flip the 9. Let's see. So he died. Hold on. 41. He's in his 81st year on Earth. So he got the 81 coding too. And he married a Patricia. Then we got John Rocky Ryan, basically just known as Rocky Ryan. Isn't that interesting? He doesn't seem to have done a whole lot that I can think of, although he did punch someone in the face and broke their jaw, which is very on brand for a Rocky. I think we can all agree. So shouts out for digging up that gem. Very pumped on that. Let's see. Rocky Ryan died on age 79, so Rocky Ryan got the 76 coding. I know you love Coach for that. What else we got? Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. Okay, so one of the most hated Chiefs players in the entire history of their team is their old kicker. He missed 3 kicks in a playoff game that they lost narrowly. And his name is Lynn Elliott. You think it's a coincidence the kicker on the Eagles has the same last name, Elliott, and happens to be nicknamed the Make for his kicking ability? I mean, they could do some corny shit where he's the one that ends up missing all those kicks. But the way I see it, Elliott is bad for the Chiefs, and I had Justin Tucker kicking a 68-yard field goal next year. I'm taking Jake Elliott in the Super Bowl to kick a 67 fucking yarder. You better believe that's my prediction. So moving on from that, there's Lindley, Franklin Elliott, also Franklin Field, Eagles. Hello. Let's see. What about the Bills? He beat the Buffalo Bills. He was with the Cowboys. See, he missed 9 kicks in 5 games. The final 5 games after starting off 25 of 30. So that's pretty abysmal. Worst time to go cold, of course. He's still the second most accurate kicker in Chiefs history. Here's the most despised players list. You can see he's right there near the top, number 2. You say may be unfairly criticized, but still go down one of his most unliked players in team history because of the 3 missed kicks in the game. Elvis Gerbach, also very hated. He took over for Rich Gannon. So Elvis was a starter. Elvis gets hurt. Rich Gannon comes in, plays very well, is a better leader, all that sort of stuff. But Marty Schottenheimer goes back with Elvis anyways, and he chokes. And then Rich Gannon leads Chiefs' rival Raiders to a Super Bowl win. How corny, right? I'm sorry, I can't get more out of my voice right now. I really wish I could. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Went to Michigan. Interesting, right? Finished his career in Baltimore. What a fucking joke. Come on, yo. And played for the Niners and the Chiefs. Do those teams have any connection? Come on. What else do we got? Okay, so here's all the books Coach has read so far. He's read more books than this in this amount of time, but this is just the sports ones. There's also several more that have been started and not finished. The Coach showed you your stats, right? Your comments, all that sort of stuff. Also, Coach wants to tell you is if you're in the starting five, he's subscribed to every single one of you. So if you ever post anything, Coach, Coach will watch it immediately. You better believe it. So, express yourself if you got something to say. These are, like I said, all the books Coach has read in the past couple months for the channel. So here's the library, all the stats, right? So we'll do the titles first. Curses, Why Cleveland Sports Fans Deserve to Be Miserable, A Lifetime of Tough Luck, Bad Breaks, Goofs, Gaffes, and Blunders. We got Fearless, How an Underdog Becomes a Champion, Doug Peterson with Dan Pompei. Beauty It's Short, Dan Bancroft, the most unlikely Hall of Famer in his wild times in baseball's first century. We've got Things I've Learned from Watching the Browns. We've got Weird Moments in Cleveland Sports, Bottlegate, Bed Bugs, and Burying the Pennant. False Start, How the New Browns Were Set Up to Fail. Johnny Gaudreau, Hockey Superstar. The Loneliest Lions Fan, 60 Years of a Fan's Frustration. Hidden History of Cleveland Sports. The Game, the Michigan-Ohio State Football Rivalry. Cleveland Browns History. And the autobiography of Brutus Buckeye as told to his parents, Sally Lanyon and Ray Borkus. Now, the stats on that, the suggested MSRP on those books that have been read so far, $201.11. And the amount of pages read would be 1,796. We also have Larry Beithall. He is in the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, and he just passed away at age 81 with the 4-4 coding April 4 and the 42-24 Flipperooski. Isn't that interesting? So that's what Coach has for you. He appreciates you. Leave your thoughts.